What's going on, people? Welcome to episode 1515 of the Trinity, powered by Dango. Yes, man. Yes. We're back for another episode. Big up to Owen, big up to KG, and big up to you guys watching at home. Big up to everyone who's part of the United View community. Smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new. And remember, as you can see there, pinned in the chat, have you liked the video? Yes, or I'm doing it now. There's the only two options. That's all you have to do. Check that out. Yeah, make sure you like the video. I want to see minimum 500 likes. Minimum.
Yeah. Or you'll be ineligible to watch future videos. Isn't that right, Flex? You missed it earlier on, KG. Flex was struggling. I can honestly, Flex, say the sentence. Say it. It was. Say the sentence. Say the sentence.
Well, you say what the sentence is, and I'll show you how.
Okay.
It's about fielding one of them players.
Yeah, the game was postponed because we fielded an ineligible player.
Ineligible player.
Flex, repeat the sentence.
The game was, what was it? The game was void. The game was void.
Postponed.
The game was postponed because we fielded an ineligible player. Can't say it.
But honestly, KJ, I'm telling you, 5 minutes on the stream, he tried to do it like 10 times. And you know when someone's getting worried, like, is something happening to me? It's one of those moments.
I've got one because I struggle with the Azerbaijan.
Oh, I tell you, then you struggle with Eurovision. You know when they go like, and the points go to.
Can you imagine if I was hosting that?
And that's 12 points go to Azerbaijan. It's my favorite nation.
I swear, Owen, do you have any that you like little tongue twisters you can't really?
Words I can't really do.
I don't really think that's a thing you'd have, to be honest.
I'm sometimes a bit of a mush mouth in general. I can mumble quite a lot. Sometimes I have to try and enunciate my words. And I was honestly growing up, my dad is so particular on that kind of stuff. If I ever like mumbled something or didn't say it properly, like probably I go.
Oh wait, hold on. You think that's new? You do that to us. As soon as we say something on a pod,
that's what I mean.
What could be happening? We could be talking about players, manager in. We could be talking about anything. But hold on,
that's what I mean. That's where I get it. That's where I get it from. I'm telling you. I used to go to my dad. I go, "Can I have a glass of water, please?" Go, water? Don't you mean water?
Is it?
And then he'd throw it in my face and go, "No." It's a joke. It's a joke.
Yeah, he did do that. But I just came across that during the presser, and I was like, yeah, man, like we should just. I can't remember the context. I was like, yeah, just field an illegible. I went, right, I can't say that. I can't, and I just went, no, wait, I can't field an illegible. I couldn't say it, bro. I can't. I still can't. Ineligible, but I can say the word just by itself. But if anyway.
Yeah. There's so much, guys. There's so much to talk about. Can I say things that I want to talk about, like at the top? So
yes,
we know. I would love to talk about Jadon Sancho revisionism at some point. Yes. I'd love to talk about TT. I'd love to talk about Arsenal. Tommy Tuchel, that's why. What do you call it? I'd like to talk about this Arsenal game. And firstly, I want to talk about how you guys deliver bad news when I'm in public on the train, because I sounded insane today in that call. Earlier
today. They didn't hear you. They didn't hear you. You was in my ear. They didn't hear you.
No, but I didn't realize how the level, the devastation that you guys like. And I could hear Owen in the back saying, "Yeah, no, not all of them, but there's some big injuries." I could hear Owen just.
Do you know why? No, because I don't know. Because it's just you, and I was in a bad, like when Owen was asking me about the thing. I'm defeated. I'm like, fuck this.
Yeah, you were grouchy.
I was grouchy. So. I even said it to the postman. The postman supports Man United. He's rang during the stream. And he's like, "Oh yeah, I need a signature for this." I'm like, "Yeah, big up." Yeah. I was like, "I just did a show now, mate." Actually, he's like, "Oh," I was like, "We've got no players." We've got no players. He's like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "Mason Mount injured again." I was like, "Luke Shaw setback." He's like, "What about Leach?" I goes, "Wants to play." Eric won't let him.
No, I want to let you know, you hit those like, bro, those were like really severe gunshots, bro.
It's
like,
the truth. That's what's happened.
Inside manner. You know, if he was a doctor, bro, you're hitting someone with it's palliative care. I saw arrange your, what do you call it? What do you say? Arrange your, what do you call it? What are you gonna say? Arrange your, get your affairs in order. That's what they say.
Yeah, get your affairs. Yeah.
I don't know what the next one is. What do you call it? Have you got funeral savings? That's how I felt you hit me with those, because it's like Martinez is injured. No, he said we got no players. Martinez, wait, hold on. You hit me with the 3, bro. We got no players.
I wasn't expecting palliative care. Then
the last one was the disgusting. The last one was yeah, Martinez is back. Don't risk him. Okay.
It's the truth though.
Bro, that's a lot of bad news, bro.
I logged on to do the press conference and that was the quotes. That's what he said. It's the truth.
So we want Flex to do when he breaks bad news. Get your affairs in order. Mason Mount's injured.
What he wants me to do is say, "You're on the train, are you? All right, get off the train first. Come off.
Yeah,
come off. Don't worry about
down. No, because you lot did this to me before.
Sure
I did that to KG before.
Look, Owen is so much different. Owen, I was on the show. Look at the difference. I was on the show with Owen. He knew it was big news. Owen goes, "Where are you?" I goes, "I'm at the train station." He goes, "You sitting down?" I goes, "All right, cool. I'll sit down."
And he did it. He sat down. He went, I went, "Are you sitting down?" He went, "I am now."
What was that for again?
Chelsea
Mourinho's
return.
Oh, coming back. Oh, yeah.
Sorry, man.
All right, I'll work on that.
Look at the difference.
All right, I'll work on it. All right. So when there's bad news or like whatever it is that
I haven't seen it.
I know you haven't seen it. I will work on that for the next time.
Thank you.
Since I told you that, when you was on the train, did you catch up with what's going on? Did you see?
Do you know what I did? Do you know what I did? I just got really upset, bro, because we know what this looks like, guys. We know what this. As soon as you told me that news, I go. It's that kind of feeling of for F's sake, innit? You sit down and you just stare at the train just chugging along, and you're like, look at what's gonna happen. We're gonna be in a nightmare situation. All I'm thinking about is Johnny Evans and Casemiro.
Yeah.
And did you angrily ride your line bike when you were thinking about that?
No, I wasn't.
He said that to me before. And he went, I got my line bike, and I'm just got this image of my.
No, when I'm on a line bike before, I was just trying to get here on time because of obviously my man. So now, oh no, everything's just this last hour and a bit. The last hour and a bit has been like shambolic in terms of Man United, where we're going, how serious this thing is, because we were kind of somewhat joking or somewhat kind of playing around with the notion of, are we going to get another point? And that reality is dawning.
I want to ask you then, because you brought up a few things you want to talk about.
Yes.
And one of them was the Arsenal thing, which kind of feeds into something I wanted to talk about with you. The Arsenal thing to you
is everything.
Means something different to a lot of individuals that I know. And I know this. For you,
it's everything.
It's very personal. You've lost a lot of money. You owe a lot of money. You're the first. You're right there when it doesn't go right for them. You're front center.
Yes.
So then when it goes badly, when we directly play them, it's you. You will have to take the most brunt. And I was saying to Owen that what I've done is I'm there, and I've learned to sort of like the bits that you just went to get off the train and just observe, just so you don't get the full heat where you keep going. So what my question was going to be to you, KG, is you've been sort of like, we got to give everything time and stuff like that. And I hear what you're saying, but we have to, just wait a bit. And I'm asking you, if we get touched by Arsenal differently, like, because your Monday, my Monday will be horrendous as well. You know what I mean? My Monday will be horrendous. Like, you saw what they did, bro.
All Mondays are going to be. We're finished.
Matisse pulled up, bro, and took over my studio, bro. Did you see Monday? No. You haven't seen it, bro. Do you know what? Bro, they put Matisse came into UVHQ with the round table from DR. Oh, and have you seen this?
I've not seen this.
Guys, listen. Do you know what they're trying to do to me now? Because of the whole Matisse thing for all year, obviously, I've done the Chelsea thing.
Yeah, you've been killing him.
I took the money. Yeah, And now, because it's the first time they went above us, please tell me why I've gone into UV blindfolded. Yeah. The round table that is for Roundup is in UV. There's Chelsea flags, Chelsea shirts, Chelsea pictures, all in our studio. It's got blue lighting. Josh helped facilitate
Owen's
this.
face. Owen's not in.
Yeah, because he didn't know.
No.
Yeah.
Look, and this is where you just go. Look, if you want to one up them, let's file a police report. They're breaking and entering.
I told him. I said to Matisse, first things first. You have to pay rent.
Vandalism.
You've taken over the deeds. You can
pay.
pay.
Vandalism.
Yeah,
vandalism. Trespassers.
Cease and desist. So basically, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So
you're a liar. Sorry, guys, can't help
it. So that's what they're on. So basically, my Monday can look awful if we get rinsed by Arsenal.
Good
but
question.
for you as well, you're in a bad place. So what my question is, to sum this up so you can go. Would you be done with it all?
Honestly, I think this is the weekend. Owen's got to look after me and my finances with people. Basically, he's not gonna.
You're not a financial advisor.
No, I'm saying
put that burden on me. You place bets.
Because Owen, what you're gonna do is you're gonna ask me pertinent questions. Yeah, like how do you feel? Yeah, when the game's going, you say, KG, we're in the second half, 3-0 down. How do you feel?
It's a valid question, though.
No, but when I think some of these are involuntary, where you'll say stupid things. I remember the De Gea one. I didn't realize I said he's got to go as many times as I said he's got to go, but I said it a lot. When I play it back, I'm like, geez, I said that. I was
when Coventry scored that goal to make it 4-3. Katie said Ten Hag out. I didn't realize he said it like 20 times, and then it got ruled off, and he went, right, you know where I am? I went, obviously. He said it like 20 times. And this is the thing, Flex. You don't see this. Whenever me and KG have to do those remote match views, sometimes recently it gets quiet. Like when the results are bad, I'll ask KG again. I'll go, KG, how you feeling? Sometimes he'll just won't say anything. He'll just shake his head at me.
He's got no words.
Nah. So this one, guys, I can't lie to you. I did some things the other day that you lot have been doing for a long time. I looked at the league table again just for the sake of it. Just wanted to have a good look. Yeah. It's horrible reading, bro.
Absolutely.
No, it's actually, because I thought we had a goal difference of -1. Yeah. Not that makes it any better. Yeah. -3 at the end of the season. Yeah. Being, when you look at the goals scored by Arsenal compared to us and like everyone. Then you look at the form chart of the last 5 games, and ours looks like a relegation-y. That's relegation form with what we got right now. Like the form that we have right now, you're in that group. So it's great. You know when they do it with the colors, like green. Oh my goodness.
We've scored 3 more goals than Luton. 3.
One, and you know what the nasty one is? 1 in 8. 1 in 8, and we've played some bogus teams. And all, like, I can't even say no disrespect. All disrespect. We shouldn't be losing to some of these teams that we've been playing, but we're having FA Cup finals with these teams. And I know the manager said every game's FA Cup final. We've lost every single one. Like, we just
I forgot about that. Yeah, every game's a final.
Every game's a cup final. We've been smoked in each one, bro. And then we keep so. When you the answer to that question is, we'll find out on the day. I have a strong feeling. If you do it by percentages, I think I'm 85% that I'm going to say a madness.
Yeah, you will.
I hate Arsenal. You know I hate Arsenal.
Yeah, because when things unravel, which is just how your brain works, yeah. When things unravel during the game, it triggers other things. So I hate to sound this pessimistic, guys. We will talk a bit positively in a bit, but this is just our real feeling. It's a Trinity podcast. That's what it is.
Yeah.
As, I don't know, Odegaard does the wicked pass in behind the thing and Saka opens up his body and slots. In your head, you'll go, fuck's sake, they're going to do the Starboy thing. Fucking Saka. Do you know what I mean? If Havertz goes around the keeper and scores, they don't even like
if Onana does it, Onana.
If Onana does it, do you know what I mean? You will think of all the individual people.
Everybody. Yeah. Troops. I done a preview with Troops just because, like, He's like, yeah, do you want to come on? And then after, I'm not gonna go there humbly, stick out my chest a bit. So then,
see, and this is the
nah, I will. This is the problem, and you know, I'm easy money for these fans because
you are.
As soon as they, because I argue, because I hate these lot. Yeah, I don't have sense when I'm arguing, or I don't have like when I win at financial arguments. I'm like, you're not gonna beat us. Yeah, do you believe? Well, put your money where your mouth is. Okay, I'm like 100.
Yeah, you are easy money, bro.
So
and
now
you need to fix that. I'm gonna help you work on that.
Thank you, man. But I need to basically, I can't engage. Oh man, I just had another bet though. Sorry, bro.
With who?
KG, like
it's the last one though. But this one's not. This one's a physical bet. It was DR Sports. I was triggered, and I said to Don Robbie, "I'm gonna lose more weight than you. I'm gonna have it. We got a challenge, and you're my coach."
Oh well, yeah. I know
Okay.
that.
Okay.
Well, that's the bet. That no, seriously, it's done now. It's like it's handshake on camera. It's serious now. Like you said it today. They'll see you later on. They'll see it today. Everyone will see that we're committed. Starts from now.
Guys. We have got a yeah. There is something cooking.
No, it's literally we announced it on
already.
We announced on the show.
Check it out. It's officially.
Yeah, we announced on the show. So good. Yeah. So you're my coach, by the way. Thank you.
It's all right. I've also inherited a forfeit whereby if KG loses, this is going like into tour and everything. This is going to be crazy.
Yeah.
If KG loses, apparently the forfeits are extreme. We don't know what they are.
They've been talking some stupid stuff about planes and stuff. They've been getting crazy.
Yeah.
I don't like heights. You saw me on the F. I want to swear. Can I say? Can I swear quickly?
Yeah.
Up to build thing. That stadium.
That was hilarious. I didn't know KG's voice went that high when he screams. Like that was. I'll go back and watch it. The scream.
Listen, if I can tell you, let me tell you this now. Yeah, the lead up to doing that. Yeah, this guy did not tell me he was scared of heights. Yeah, so when the day began, right, he's like, so what time are we going over to the stadium? And then so I was like, oh, we've got to be there for whatever time. So I thought, all right. Then he's like, all right, we will get an Uber. All right, when are we leaving? Like he's just asking a lot of questions. I'm like, he's a bit jittery here. Then on the way, so he's like, so this thing, is it high up then and that? How's that work then? I was like, yeah, it's just like go to the top of the stadium. And then when we get in there, it's like harnesses, and he's like, so how long we got to be up there? And like he's trying not to just say, bro, I'm scared of heights. So I've gone. So then we get in the lift with our harnesses.
Oh, now I'm in the lift, I'm terrified. In the lift, I'm terrified. And then you lot doing that thing, you're doing that. You know what kids do when they jump in the lift or try to make it more funny? They're pricks.
When you're on a Ferris wheel and you get to the top and they start doing the spin thing, and you're like, honestly.
You tell them your fear and they go crazy with it.
It is what it is, mate. That was one of the funniest things I've ever been.
No, it wasn't. And when the footage was corrupted, I was so happy. And Josh was doing his best to get. Remember, because the footage was gone, and I remembered how I screamed. I done a stream that I wasn't proud of myself for.
He was so I get upside down. Oh, do you remember? And this is probably no one's going to get this because I'm not even sure the picture's out there. But there was a picture that they used for tourism. Do you remember this picture? And it was KG, and it was KG in the harness, and it was very, let's say, unflattering of his ass.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember that picture? And it's him turned around, looking over his shoulder, like this. This harness.
It's not funny.
Yeah.
But he's got a look of fear on his face whilst he's looking over his shoulder.
I'm really scared.
But though, you did do it, bro.
You did do it.
You did do it. So really,
I won't lose. I'm taking it serious.
But on a serious note, I'm in your corner. I'm backing you to lose more weight or get healthier than Don Robbie. Don't disgrace the family. Don't disgrace the channel. Make sure you win. He's got Cecil in his corner. Cecil, jumping up and down.
I'm gonna win this.
Brown. Just make sure you win, bro.
Cecil jumping up and down.
Yeah, that's what he does. He's just Cecil, isn't it? He's just dancing or doing something.
What about you lot though? Because you said we found out about how I feel. You'll be 1 in 9. How do you lot feel? Would you lot be? Are you lot? Because I know you guys are in a lot of doubt. Flex. I don't think you're in doubt. You just said rip it up, tear it up, destroy everything.
It's over for me.
So what would Owen Like, I want to hear, Owen, where will you be?
I've said the same. You know, rip it up and start all over again. That doesn't mean it's going to happen overnight. I said it after the Coventry game. The Coventry game was a big turning point for me. I mean, I was with you that day, KJ. I was pretty pissed off that day.
I remember.
And then after that as well, playing those championship sides and struggling past them. And then Monday was a weird one because it was like going into the game, I think everyone knew we were going to lose. We were going to lose that game, but it was the manner of which it happened. And after some of the bad results this season, we've always said, haven't we? But in fairness, these players are still playing for Eric Ten Hag, or it looks like they're still playing for him. That's the first time I didn't get that impression on Monday. I thought some of these players can't be bothered anymore. And then you start to hear those reports going, well, the mood's miserable and they don't think he's going to be there and blah, blah, blah. And in fairness to Eric today in the press conference, he came out because he was asked by Rob Dawson, would it be good if anyone else came out and publicly said that they were going to keep you and whatever? And he went, I don't care. You ask them. He's like, ask them. That. I don't care.
How did you read that? How do you like ascertain that or try to?
Well, what's he going to say? What's he going to say? Oh yeah, I really want him to come out and say yes. They're going to keep me. He's not going to say that. He just was like, look, my job. That's for you to ask them, not to ask me. I focus on the team. I do my job. He also was asked about.
Was it really like? Was he kind of?
It was dismissive. It was dismissive in the sense of like, I'm not gonna tell you that I'm scared.
I need that. I don't need that. Like I don't need that reassurance or anything. And then on the other side of it, he was asked, well, Louis van Gaal, his second season didn't qualify for the Champions League, but he won the FA Cup. He got the sack. Are you worried that because they've done that before, they're going to do it again? And he was like, no, because I think they've got common sense. And then listed off the injuries. So,
he was very big on that in Owen. Yeah. I said that he was basically saying in the thing. Obviously, he's not going to critique himself with the coaching and playing open, expansive thing, but he's saying anyone with a brain knows that we are this shit only because of the injuries. That's how I read it. So he's like, no, because they've got common sense. Like I've spoke to them. They know
sort of, yeah. It was sort of like,
and if they sack me, they'll be stupid. That's
if I won the FA Cup and they sacked me, that wouldn't be a lot of common sense. Which look, it's a bit of a fair argument because if we were shockingly somehow to win the FA Cup, it would be a bit difficult to sack him because you'd be like, wow, you got 2 trophies in 2 years, and with the injuries, and you're playing one of the best teams. It could be by that point the Premier League champions. Like it would be a tough one. The only problem is not many people believe we're going to win the FA Cup. That's
why I'm holding out for you, and that's why I need to just relax myself in that Arsenal game, because while I hate Arsenal, I have to look at the bigger picture and just say, look, because you can't come back in it. If let's say he goes on and let's say we do it, which I do have the hope. Like I still like this manager. I still like yes, he's come across back poorly near the end of this season. But I do like the way he talks. I do like the way he demands discipline and he demands the best from his players. Yes, they're not delivering at the moment, but I think should learn from everything that's gone wrong this season and fix those things. Again, this is a really difficult club. There's so many mitigating circumstances, all the buzzwords. There's so many things that will go against you, and this club just puts managers under. They have to get used to wearing almost the heavy jacket that is Man United. And maybe now I feel that with everything that's gone wrong, he will now be ready to wear this jacket and lead this club.
Well, here's one interesting one, KG.
Yeah.
If, let's say, every Premier League game for the rest of this season, so that's Arsenal, Newcastle, and Brighton, goes the way of a bit like Palace. I'm not saying we lose everyone 4-0, but we lose them all and we get dominated pretty heavily.
Yeah.
To be honest, I think what people are kind of expecting.
Everything's a possibility.
Yeah. Say that happens, and then he does win the FA Cup, and it's like a 1-0 or 2-1 kind of, we did it. A bit like, when Arteta won the FA Cup against Chelsea, where everyone thought that day, like, Chelsea definitely going to win the FA Cup. Yeah. And then they won, and it was like, wow, that was surprising. Do you think that would be enough to keep his job? Because do you judge it on the one game, the FA Cup win, or do you judge it on more games, i.e. the whole season?
No, because you have to. He needs to. There's an objective for European football as well for this club, right? FA Cup is Europa. It's a bad season, but at the end of the day, an objective has been met. That guys we're in Europe. It was a horrible season. We salvaged it. It wasn't a great season.
Well, that wasn't the objective, though.
No, but I'm saying that but objectives can change within the season when you realize
salvage something. You'd have salvaged something.
Salvage something. So it's like, you know what? We salvaged something. Yes, the mitigating circumstances. Yes, all this change. Yes, all this stuff of the unknown. Yeah, you can stay. The only thing is, there's like, yeah, you say, yeah, you can stay and let's see what happens. But now it's where he needs the support. Now I don't want him to be running this thing alone. I don't want to see the Antonys again. I don't want to see those kind of signings. I need to see this club has learned from its mistakes in the boardroom and Ten Hag. Because even let's have it right with the Casemiro thing. It's really sad, but we gave him the longest contract in the world. Man. Like, that's a club level thing. That's while you could say, hey, Eric, would you like this player? Yes. But then the club offering him 5 years guaranteed.
350 bags. Crazy. Got 3 years left. Mental. We're seeing him this finished, and he's got 3 years left. Now, how mad that is.
You can't, like, but that's what I'm saying. So when you talk about the club, and because Ten Hag is not responsible for all of this.
No,
I get he's the figurehead.
But people aren't saying he is, though. That's that, and again, that's when we get back to, isn't it? Is there's a lot of sort of generalized speaking involved in all of it, isn't there? There's a lot of, oh, you say Ten Hag's all at fault. Eric Ten Hag's not all at fault. Of course he's not. You say the players are all at fault. The players aren't totally at fault because some of them shouldn't be there in the first place. So there is elements of blame towards everyone, isn't there? I just think with it, it's just, I do think, though, there just has to be an acknowledgement. And I think it's maybe because people don't like the reality of it because it's not fair. Football's not fair, is it? That's the problem, is that, unfortunately, in football, you can have a manager have bad circumstances, but if he doesn't get the results, he gets sacked. And you can go, that's quite harsh, that, because of certain situations. And I think we as fans don't like that. You don't like to see someone get treated what we perceive to be harsh. But unfortunately, football is a harsh business, isn't it? If you don't get results, you're going to be in trouble. If you get results like against Crystal Palace, 4-0 away from home, they've done the double over years this season. Glasnow's done really well with them, but we lost to Roy Hodgson's Crystal Palace at Old Trafford. That kind of stuff, that's going to go against you. And it's just, as much as he didn't say, like, oh, I don't care, you'd have to ask them. Of course, if Ineos came out and said, look, we believe in Eric, we're sticking with Eric, we're building something with him, he's sticking around, that would make things a lot easier, I think, for everyone, wouldn't it? Even if you're not Eric Ten Hag's biggest fan, you'd be like, right, well, nothing's happening, so let's just focus on something else.
But then the Tommy T thing,
it's a thing. It's a real thing.
More than a thing, bro.
It's a real thing. He wants the job. He's waiting.
He's waiting for the Man United job same way the Pochettino was waiting for it. Yeah. But also it's the keen eagerness. Him and Rio's little touchline thing was not concerning, but I looked at that and I goes,
Rio needs to stop talking to people, because like the Thomas Tuchel thing, the Sheikh Jassim on the train thing, the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer write the thing on the table, the Ronaldo like nodding his head, all that kind of stuff. Like Rio, just stop talking to people.
Yeah,
it's not.
But he can't. And because he's a club legend, it holds the cachet of it is there. Like if Rio's in a conversation with a certain person, you're looking at that communication and thinking, what's that about?
What happened
and
there?
What happened there? What's that little laugh about? Seeing preseason. You know what I mean? Like, what's going on? Like, what is going on?
What do you think about Gary Neville, KG, though? Because Gary Neville, he's changed his tune as well. Because there was there's the Amazon documentary about the 99 season, the treble, and he did an interview there, and he was basically like, I think he should be given another season, and with the structure around him. And his big thing is, I don't see any viable alternatives, so they should stick with what they've got. And this is the same guy that just a few weeks ago, he was like, I think Ineos have made their mind up, irrespective of what's going on. And again, that's ambiguous. So then people go, well, he must know. He's on the task force for Old Trafford.
Well, so that made their mind up could have meant they've made their mind up, like they will keep him because they need to get
but that wasn't his tone at the time, was it? That wasn't his tone at the time.
But he's left it open. He still hasn't said the word. So he could, if he was in this room right now, we were pressing him. He's like, I just said they've made, do you know what I mean? And then now, like you said, it definitely is more positive.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Or just have circumstances change. And maybe that might be his answer.
Time.
His answer at the time. He might have said, well, at the time, there were other options available, and that has shrunk, hasn't it? I feel like there are less managers available, but to KG's point, there is this manager out there who we know is not going to have a club in a couple of weeks' time. We know he's got pedigree, regardless of whether you think he got the Champions League semi-final wrong. He was in a Champions League semi-final. He's won the Champions League. He's been in the final before. He's won trophies in every country he's been in, basically. It's difficult to say no, isn't it? Stuff's not going very well. And he openly said, I want the job.
Well, this brings it into revisionism, because KG wanted to talk about the Sancho revisionism. And like you said, there was a little bit of sort of opposite revisionism about Thomas Tuchel in midweek with, because they bottled it in the last 8 minutes of the game. That's why he definitely shouldn't come Man United, because Neuer, didn't catch the ball and made the mistake.
Players are the manager.
This is what I'm saying. Like sometimes that's what we was talking about the very next morning. Sometimes you go, well, is it Eric Ten Hag's fault that Onana didn't pass it enough to Dalot, so then the other team scored? Well, was it Thomas Tuchel's fault that Manuel Neuer, who's one of the best keepers ever, who was playing actually amazing in the game, made some big saves, done some serious things, then he just does something he probably hasn't done in about 10 years, like out of the blue.
Long position.
And now, do you know what I'm saying? So, do you know what I mean? Chicken or the egg. So, the revisionism, though, the Sancho thing you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, man. I just think my biggest frustration at this club, or when because we're so angry, you lot speak about it a lot on the morning show. Because we're so angry, we just kind of throw out the truth. We forget about the truth. We just say,
reality is ignored, isn't it? It's just ignored.
Yeah, reality is ignored. I said, okay, imagine a world, where, because the big one is he fights with all his players. I said, okay, imagine a world where he's not fighting. He's dropped Ronaldo, but Ronaldo does Piers Morgan and he's reintegrated into the team. He's done Piers Morgan, he's reintegrated to the team. Would you believe Ten Hag is in control of this team? No. Let's move it on. Jadon Sancho pins a tweet. All I say, really, which we've seen other managers talk about players before. We've been asking for him to call out the players more. There's been the one kind of when he kind of says about Garnacho, and he's been more on Garnacho because of his age and he wants more from him. See, he pushes him further. But he said Sancho didn't do enough to get selected. That's all that happened, guys. From that moment, Sancho puts out a tweet. Sancho was told, apologize, and you get back into the team, case closed. And we've seen it happen because Rashford went to Belfast. Internal matter is dealt with in what you call it. We've had many of these. This is not the first one. So then my thing is, how has it got to Sancho was right? He never believed in he never saw how good he was. He's never we've just kind of remixed it and made it out like this is some belligerent guy that he can't work with anyone. How has this happened? That's the part that I struggle with.
People have picked a side.
That's what it is. Let me play devil's advocate then, because all three of us are kind of at one on this. What a lot of people are saying, and actually, like when I talk to I could say he won't care. Like if I speak to Anton Ferdinand, or I spoke to Danny Murphy, people who've played the game, some other ex-pros as well, some others who've played the game. Like you get a different perspective, so you just open your ears, right? And I said I spoke to one player, ex-player, who's been in the training. And they said that, I'm telling you now, when you're in the dressing room and you see, and I'm not saying this makes Sancho right, by the way, I'm just giving the other side. You're seeing this guy, Anthony, who's rubbish, getting given all this time ahead of you, and you're being told that, you don't believe that you've been training any worse than him or him. Your ego is getting the better of you. And actually, the way you're dealing with me is going to rub off on the other players. And actually, you know what? I'm taking a stand against you because you're talking rubbish. So I'm not going to say sorry because I believe that I'm right. And then now I've sat on that and doubled down on that. And now I've gone and played away from here and I'm thriving again. I'm scoring goals. I'm in a Champions League final. I'm singing Adele on top of the tables. I look happy. You contributed to a situation where look how toxic the thing is that you're in. It's not just me failing. Look at the guy you brought in for 80 million. Rashford's in Belfast. Everyone's doing it.
Now, so the response to that is, for me anyway, the players have their own opinion, but they're players. a fan and a player's opinion will be totally different because how they experience the game is totally different. I would never be able to see the eyes through the eyes of a player. I can only see it as a fan of this club. I'm gonna be here after the players are gone. The players can sign for a new club and then play against us and kiss the badge. I would never kiss another over. Do you understand what I'm saying? So our perspectives are always gonna be different. This is your job. This is my heart. Do you know what I mean? Like we're coming at from two totally different spaces where I'm like, you can't disrespect the badge. My thing is, when we needed you, those injuries and stuff, and you wasn't here. So me as a fan, not the player, because I get the business thing.
And Ten Hag helped you then as well.
Me as a fan is saying, bro, like, when are you gonna deliver for us? And it would make sense if Ten Hag was the first manager to drop him and everyone else played him and he's been pulling up trees this whole time. He wasn't. That's the other
yeah,
part.
There's this narrative that he was doing exceptionally well, and then Ten Hag came in, and now he's done it. Like I saw a stat. I bookmarked it actually because it was quite interesting. I saw a stat, right? Let me bring it up actually. And it was basically, there you go. Sancho for Man United in the Premier League, 21-22 season, which was under Oli and Ranieri. He's played 29 games, started 20, got 6 goals and assists. 22-23 under Ten Hag. He started 21 games, 9 goals and assists mixed together. So like, it's not, the numbers are about par. He wasn't pulling up the trees. Well, and this is what I was saying to Anton. I was like, I've seen him with my own eyes in the stadiums, like game for game, 90 minutes every game, like not doing enough, as well as others.
You asked in the press conference, how'd you get the best out of Sancho? I remember that question. That was kind of, we've asked these, like, and he wants to play on the left as well. And there was a time where on the left-hand side, would he put in more, like, especially, and guess what? This is where, obviously, the system merchants, and I understand what they're saying, the system people come out and say, well, we're not playing in the right way. And I can understand that. But then the flip side is if the manager wants to, because the manager has to be in control, someone has to run the business, the house, the whatever you want to call it. Someone has to say, look, this is how it goes here. A player can never take a stand against a Fergie, a Klopp, a Pep. Like, they're gone. Even as good as what Cancelo was.
Yeah.
You're out.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Like, I get you're talented, but guess what? I'm not having that here because I'm in control. I'm the manager. And if I don't deal with this properly, I'm going to be left with all these other players that are going to challenge me week in, week out as well. So I have to almost, just for the sake of the team. Now, don't get me wrong. It's not saying that you can't get these things wrong, but I just feel that it's mad how he's gone back to a familiar ground where he knows he's good and he's thriving and good for him. But he didn't want to. For me, I feel he bottled it at Man United, where it didn't need to go along as long as it did. He could have just said sorry. We've all apologized when we didn't really feel like we should, but we just done it and kept moving.
I don't know. I don't know if he bottled it. I just think, look, the problem is, and this is kind of what it is at the moment, is everyone has to pick a side. And if you're of the mindset, or some people are, I think, of the mindset that Erik ten Hag isn't the right guy, the Sancho situation's a stick to hit him with, isn't it? And be like, see, this is another thing you got wrong. The reality is, like, it just didn't work out with Jadon Sancho at Manchester United, and that's all right. You know, so he's exactly where he needs to be. He's back working with a coach he's worked with before. He's successful with him again. The system is more suited to him, so that's better. He's in an environment where he maybe isn't as you know, pressure or press heavy as intense as it is at Manchester United, which I think suits him too. I mean, I saw a stat that said, I think since January, him and Antony are on the same amount of goals and assists, you know. So it's not as if he's been turning up major trees at Dortmund. It's not to put down his performances, because he was brilliant in the semi-final first leg, and he got man of the match in the game against PSV. So in some games, he's been absolutely brilliant for them. Again, that's good. You don't want to see young footballers wither and just turn into nothingness and not live up to their potential. Again, I think it's just a case of, like you say, KG, unfortunately, we're at this point now where, because of whatever side you're on, people are cherry picking things to make the point that they want to make.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I mean, I've seen the same thing with
it's annoying
with Ten Hag when he was the Ajax manager, because this week with the Real Madrid stuff, people have been showing the game when Ajax went to the Bernabeu and they won 4-1, right? And the point being is they go, that's what, see, look at this. They played Real Madrid off the park that day, and that's what happens if he's got the players to do the system that he wants. And see, that's the point. And that's you look at this, and that's Erik Ten Hag's vision. And again, like with all of these stats, whether they're pro Ten Hag, anti Ten Hag, pro Sancho, against Sancho, there's a lot of nuance in this. Because if you look to that 4-1 game, Real Madrid, you look at it, they were awful that season. They were the only thing they won that season was the Club World Cup. They finished third in the Liga. They got the semi-final of the Copa del Rey. They were out of the round of 16 in the Champions League. They had 3 managers that season. Started off with Lopetegui, then it was Solari, who was the manager when they played Erik Ten Hag, and Zidane came in after they went out of the Champions League.
And then look what he did.
And then he turned it around. And the point being is, like, okay, so it's not to put down the achievement. You go to Real Madrid, you win 4-1, knock them out of the Champions League. It's a fantastic achievement, of course it is. But it's like Crystal Palace, like they'll celebrate doing the double over this season because they haven't done it before. But from a Manchester United fan's point of view, you go, not much to celebrate. We were rubbish that season. I'm sure Real Madrid fans would say the same thing with that. They go, okay, you beat us, but we were terrible that season. We didn't win anything. We were third. We had 3 managers. Like, context with all of this stuff is so important. And to your point, KG, it's ignored. It's ignored.
Absolutely.
It's ignored for the sake of, I'm right. I know I'm right. These are the stats that I've got to make it right. So if again, Eric's wrong, Sancho was right there. See, he's thriving. And the reality is that things can be true at the same time. There are fallouts of lots of players. You can look at Jaap Stam and Sir Alex Ferguson, or Roy Keane and Sir Alex Ferguson. They fell out. Does it make any one of them a bum?
And this story was on the bench in the cup final.
Yeah. Does it make any one of them a bum, or people fall out? Stuff doesn't work out. And again, that's okay. Managers get sacked. Don't make him terrible. Carlo Ancelotti, he's been sacked before. Everyone raves about him this week. He's in another Champions League final. Like that, it's not like those like the failures or the conflicts is what you're judged on rather than the achievements, which is
they're using them as the defining criteria for whether you're good or bad.
Exactly.
Because basically, if you're not a Klopp or a Pep, where you always get to leave on your own
you never get sacked
because you're the best. Like that's 10 a penny. Klopp, Sir Alex,
outliers. Those are the outliers.
Like even like Wenger, like got hounded out.
Players go to certain clubs and it doesn't work out sometimes, and they have to go somewhere else, and then suddenly they're good again. Like that's just how it goes.
But then what the killer is, I remember all the fans saying he's rubbish, he's rubbed, and this, that, and the other. And now they're the same ones sending us videos of Sancho's achievements as well, like players from other teams saying you ruined talents and this, that, and the other. And yes, there's things that we've got wrong. Like, even when it comes down to the point I really want to make is, like, we're just Man United fans. Now, it's easier for me to make it under Sir Alex. It was Sir Alex. I backed Sir Alex in every decision that he had. And that was the way that it worked and stuff. He's the manager. You back the manager, and he said, listen, there's no players bigger than the club. That was Sir Alex's major line. And a player's going out after that, basically. Now, I've tried that. I'm trying that technique with Ten Hag. But it's about the club. I am thinking about the club. In the natural feeling is, and that's why I get mad at Henderson. I get mad at Henderson because you try to take the piss out of the club. I'll hold on to that forever. Anyone that's been here, Di Maria, there's a list of players that I'm like, you do something with this club, and I'm like, okay, I hate you now. You know what I mean? And then just because Tevez, remember Ronaldo when my apology video still up there when I call him a snake when he's getting thingy, because end of the day, we don't look at it the same way a footballer will look at it. We look at it from a fan's perspective, and some fans are different now, and they'll see it from the player perspective, and they're more so for the player. Yeah. I'm not in that boat.
It's different levels of blind loyalty, isn't it? I think, like I said, for you, and I know I'm definitely similar in this, where my blind loyalty, and where I'll let people off the hook, is to Manchester United as a whole. Like, that's my blind loyalty. Whereas I think nowadays, to KG's point, there's more sort of blind loyalty to specific players or specific managers. And to the point where, like, you think football is a very tribalistic game. Like, everyone supports a team, but now it's got so, like, again, nuanced that there's tribalism within the team that you've already picked. You know what I mean? Like, and that to me is odd. Like, to KG's point, like, maybe it's a bad trait, but like the moment someone leaves Manchester United, I'm like, you're dead to me. I don't care anymore. Or the moment, or if if they do sell a player or a manager does get let go, I'm like, okay, cool, move on. Like that's why before I've pushed back on that. So you won't care what happens next season. Of course, I'll care to an aspect, but my big care is if Man United are doing well. That's all I want.
That's all I want.
Them same people though would say they do want the team to do well. That's why they're so angry at player X, or that's why they're so angry at manager Y. Like, say your agenda is that, like,
but KG's point is, like, Sancho's not here anymore, so I'm not gonna not back him, but I'm not gonna go out of my way to be like, you know, celebrate everything he does and great. You just go, congratulations.
But it's because those people
a Man United fan messaged me on Twitter and said, "Hold that." I said, "Bro, we support the same team."
Yeah,
it's for the Sancho
that kind of stuff.
Hold what?
No, because those, and that's what he's saying. But those people have detached themselves from the manager, and they're saying what's best for Man United is for Sancho to be there. But Ten Hag has ruined that.
No, but we're not getting anything from Sancho. We don't get anything from. Yes, we could sell him off and whatever, but I'm saying we don't get to share that success. If he goes to Dortmund and wins a title, we don't get to go, hey, unless you support Dortmund.
We got a Champions League winner.
We're still here. All we have is a Champions League winner that's at Man United. That's the club that doesn't play for us. He hasn't brought the title home. We're still trophyless. That's the point. I'm like, you can't tell me to hold that. We support the same team.
Yeah. It's true. No, it's true. But that's where, like you're saying, the player FC kicks in, or I'll rather back this story or use that situation to beat down Ten Hag more, because I don't think.
And it's not to say,
I don't care. If he leaves, I'll be fine.
And it must be stressed. That's not to say like you have to blindly accept everything. Like if you do think it's the wrong decision to sell a player, you can say, "Oh, I think that's the wrong decision." Not to say like you just have to take it and be like, you know, I don't think this is. I have to agree, even though I don't think it's right. Like that's not the case. It's just like, to KG's point, it wasn't sort of an odd. Like even with like the Thomas Tuchel stuff, and he's not even our manager yet, but it was this odd celebration of like, see, he lost the game. You're like, what are we celebrating? Like I said to Flex, it is, and this is the scope of how big Manchester United is. 2 Champions League semi-finals, a competition we haven't been in since last year, like 2023. We went out on the group stage, and both semi-finals were a referendum on Manchester United. You know how wild that is? Like with Sancho Man United or Tuchel Man United, like we're not even involved. Like we're not even involved, and we take the mick out of like Arsenal fans or Liverpool fans. You know that that meme of the guy looking in the mirror. It's go in there and make it about you. And we do the same. We do the same. Go in there and make it about you. Dortmund and Madrid, they're in the Champions League final, and all the Man United fans can talk about is themselves going like, Sancho, Tuchel. It's crazy.
Damn.
Mental.
Go in there and make it about you.
Honestly, it's just weird. It's weird. Meanwhile, our thing is burning down. Literally. The thing is like getting obliterated, getting licks every week. Don't know who the manager's going to be. Players dropping like flies to injuries, breaking all kind of records. Do you know what I'm saying? And then
Brailsford as well. Brailsford saying Carrington is not fit.
Yeah,
you know when we had that person, so now we got to look back at
now.
That
but then the KG Ronaldo told us this. Ronaldo told us this on Piers Morgan.
Yeah, no, but remember that guy that came on the show? Yeah,
no, he came on already. He's come on. He came on. He was just on the presser, and he put a super chat. Yeah, he put a super chat saying,
yeah.
You and KG laughed.
You laughed at me,
but we weren't laughing because we said no. Carrington is fit for purpose. This is an amazing thing. We gave him the floor, and for time. He just wasn't doing that. Like you had a chance.
He said we're not winning because our stadium is not our grounds are not fit for purpose. But then Uncle said that there's people playing in Lagos and we didn't have. He said when he was playing in Lagos, they didn't have shoes. They didn't have what facilities do we have? He said I was just playing, and I said, he said what about the thingy playing in the favelas? So I don't want to hear. And do them not have other better facilities than us? You know, the smaller clubs. Yeah. So when Uncle said that, I was like, well.
He got kicked off.
Like you said, Flex, earlier on, what was the stat with Man United and Luton? Luton have scored the same amount of goals as us? Or
3 goals less.
Luton. 3 goals less, right? Yeah.
Have you seen their stadium and their facilities?
Yeah, exactly. Is that because...
I've played at Luton's training ground. Do you know Luton's training ground in Luton It's called the Brace. Yeah, it's where you go play Sunday League. It's nice. It's nice. It's got
the Brace. Did you say it's called
the Brace?
Oh, Brace.
Yeah, the
I thought you
Brace.
said the Brace because you got to be wearing them after you come off that pitch.
You don't. Yeah, because you're finished. It's called the Brace. Yeah, or like the Riverside Suite, kind of like. It's where it's like where they've got like goals. And they've got like tennis there. They've got this. It's a leisure complex, yeah. But when Luton moved into it, they made that part of it exclusive to Luton and stuff. But it's where we used to go play Sunday League, bro. Like it's a nice pitch. We used to like playing there, but like it's where we all got access to. Like when you're driving down into Luton, yeah, when you come off the M1 and you go past there, you can see Luton training. You can just like their facilities are not. You know what I mean? It's not that.
They're not They're not like
So don't, let's not make excuses here. Is that the reason why our midfield's open like hell then? Because the hydro pool wasn't turned
grass
on.
Too long, mate.
Haven't got the
grass too long, Old Trafford, that's why. Grass too long.
Jesus.
Pitch it's that little brick wall on the side of the pitch. That's the problem. That's why we're not. Which is a death trap, by the way. The amount of people that fall off that.
It is, man. We need to address that, No, on a serious note, because they just slide down.
They slide off all the time.
Martinez.
And you don't realize until you go to the stadium, when you see it actually live in person the first time, you go, that's a bit of a drop, that.
It's a drop. It's a hill for no reason.
Yeah.
Who's designing?
Drainage, isn't it?
A drop into bricks. Yeah. It's a prick.
And meanwhile, Bernabeu, they can fold up their pitch, like it's, some laundry.
And they can put the roof on and it's...
Fold it under. Where's the pitch? Folded it under the stadium, mate.
It's so good. It's so brilliant. It's so rude.
To be fair, KG, when you went to Madrid, you had a bit of a Ronaldo moment, didn't you? You looked at it and went, it's not like this back
different levels.
I can understand. It's only when I went back. It's only when I went to and saw their facilities, I said, oh my goodness, he must have felt like, when you go back to primary school and you're like, these chairs, did we sit on these? Impossible. When you go to your old school and you're like, oh, this is shit. This is a shithole. Like, because your secondary school's just got more like 2 canteens. You can take the food out of the canteen, no tray, lamb burger and that. Like, it was different. When you go back to your
that weight loss thing ain't gonna go very well, KG. If that's the first thing you've gone for.
I remember that.
Bro, remember exactly.
Cheese puff. Bro, jam puff and the cheese puff, Lillian Bailey's, bro. That jam puff in the morning, I think it got discontinued because of effing Jamie Oliver, fam, when he tried to make
sugar tanks.
He's just an idiot, fam. He ruined it for everyone, but
turkey
maybe
Twizzlers as well.
Turkey drummers.
Turkey drummers, Potato smileys. Yeah.
Seconds. Remember when they say seconds? You run.
Run.
And then there's like the chocolate, what's it? Chocolate custard.
Rice Krispies. Oh, the Rice
Krispies. Rice Krispies Square. They go, what's your dessert? Rice Krispies Square. Lovely. You go, like chocolate custard. This isn't normal custard. It's chocolate custard.
Remember jam? What's it? Jam roly?
Jam roly poly. Yeah. I didn't really like that. I like jam, but yeah.
You didn't?
Yeah. Not really.
The hot jam was very, very difficult to navigate.
It was hot. It was very.
I remember having things like flipping.
Honestly,
semolina.
You go. This jam roly poly's nice with this side of lava you've given me here.
Yeah, no sugar in it. It's just mixed in. I remember having rice pudding, semolina.
School, man.
I'm a big fan of rice pudding, to be honest with you.
Why is Anthony trending as well? What's he done?
But I mean, what was your point, KG, with that? Oh, facilities.
I don't even know. I'm just thinking about food right now. I'm just thinking about.
You went to secondary school, facilities, canteen, lamb burgers.
Oh my God!
Episode 15 of the Trinity. Powered by Dangle.
Predictions, by the way. Predictions for Sunday.
Predictions.
Flex, you're going to be there. Me and KG are going to be with the UV community.
I will. What I will do is I've kept it consistent on all other platforms when the heat was on a bit, but this is our safe space. We ain't winning. We'll lose. I've said 1-1. With the caveat of like in everything, like
1-1.
Looking at me, yeah. But in every time I've said it on DR, on the thing with Robbie, on What the Devil with Turkish, like I've also looked on Box to Box. I've also looked at them and gone, I'm saying 1-1, but it's peak. So they know what I really mean, because I just couldn't bring myself to physically. But this is our place, innit? This is the Trinity. Like, we'll get caught, bro. We can't beat them, bro. Not Casemiro and Evans, right? Centre backs we're getting cooked, bro. We're getting cooked comfortably.
Okay. Do you think there's any chance, like Eric, when he went, Leach is not ready? Leach starts at the weekend.
Nah, he wouldn't do that. Nah,
he better not. I don't want to see him anywhere near the pitch.
Yeah, he wouldn't do that.
Even though it's a big game. I'm gonna go. I think we're gonna get touched as well. I think it could be a really embarrassing one. But I'm gonna be brave because I hate to say my team's not gonna win.
Yeah.
Let's say 2-1 Man United. I don't really believe that.
I know, we know you don't believe.
We just got to say it, ain't you? Yeah. In that case, then 3-1 Manchester United. It's going to be the result.
3.
Right, that's what you both said. You went 2-1. None of us said we're going to lose.
3-1, Owen.
Guys, can I say something quickly?
So I've got to do a better lie, basically. You're saying
no, don't do the lie. No, stop this. Sorry, no, stop. Pause.
Yes, Owen.
Go back. No.
Wait, you can let him express himself,
KG,
bro.
No, KG, go back to you. Oh. Yeah, go back to you. Then we'll go back to say the thing what you actually. Yeah. Like, what do you think's really going to happen?
I think we're going to get 5-1, 6-1.
Really, that bad?
Yeah.
And Arsenal have done that a few times this season. Remember when they played West Ham? Remember when they played West Ham away?
We're going to get 6-1.
Just tell the truth. You think it's going to be bad like that? Because Turkey said we'll win 5-1. I said, but they won't score 5-1.
We're going to get 5-1, I think.
We won't. We won't lose that.
They're going to score 3 goals in the first half. And then second half, we're going to be like, how bad is this going to get? And they'll just get 2 janky ones.
No,
I'm not playing that again.
They won't score 5 goals against us. They won't.
I think that's a possibility.
Wait, Olise and them, man. Do you know what we should have lost to Crystal Palace? We should have lost 7-8-0, bro.
We'll lose, but we won't lose by like 5. We won't. Could be like 3-0 whitewash.
The only thing,
but we won't lose by 5. The
only thing is when the fans were singing to them players, I saw a look in their eyes. Kind of like Lucca saw when he said that Amrabat's not coming and he did come. But I did see a look in the players' eyes when they were looking at the fans and they were singing to them at the end of the game. They're going to try and give a better account of themselves. They're going to try.
The players. That's what I'm saying. That's why even just off the base level, I know this is scary stuff saying this, but it don't mean we're going to win because we will lose. But like they're not going to get run up like that, like 5-0 at home. They won't.
If we win though, or get a day drop points.
I've said ridiculous. We all have to agree. Yeah, we all have to agree on that.
You're going to think that we won.
Yeah, 100%. The league. You're going to think we won the league.
No, you're gonna think we won because I'm gonna be.
A draw. I've done all disclaimers. I said Turkish, Cecil or Robbie. Know that if you even draw, if you even don't, anyhow you leave with less than 3 points, you're finished. And it was like, we will be finished because our title, that's it, it's over as well. And against the worst Man United team has ever been, like you're finished. And they've accepted that. So we.
Don Robbie said if they don't win, they haven't bottled it. I said, excuse me.
Yeah. That was our point we were making to Liverpool season, wasn't it? With like AGT and that, and they're like, I can't believe you're celebrating the draw. Where we go, you realise that we're rubbish. Yeah. Like you should be beating us. Like again, any Arsenal fans watching this, you should be winning that game. We are not very good. We are poor. Yeah, like even KG against predicting an Arsenal game is saying he thinks we can hold 5 in that game. That's how bad we are. And I just think it depends what our reaction is inevitably when we do concede. We haven't kept the clean sheet in ages at this point. And even like,
and do we concede first?
Well, even against Palace on Monday, we were all right for a period of time, weren't we? And then as soon as we conceded, it was like 2-0 coming very quickly. So it depends what that reaction would be. Because
we have to score first.
Against Liverpool, they scored first and just stay, as me and KG say a lot on the match views, only a goal in it.
But we shouldn't. But the weird thing is we didn't deserve to stay in the game. It's us. That's what I'm saying. Arsenal have to miss chances or
exactly.
It can't be off of what we do.
It won't be what we do.
How we can go in our favour, how we can actually win though, is if we do score first and Arsenal start to panic and start to rush things because
we have to.
It's all about the league. It's all about winning the league, so they just panic. That's the only.
Or the longer it goes at 0-0 as well.
But we will concede
longer it goes,
in that game.
Absolutely,
we will concede.
Yes, 1,000,000%.
Because we always do.
Who's playing first? Is Man City playing first?
Yeah, so there could be extra.
I feel like there's going to be a banana skin in that Fulham game, and if Fulham drop points. If Man City drop points against Fulham, what Arsenal going to do to us?
But also the pressure of that as well. There's pressure either way. They must win. There's no slip-ups anyway. They have to win. Episode 15 of the Trinity. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Big up to everyone for watching. Strap yourselves in for this Arsenal game, guys, and then what that will mean going into the week, because it's going to be, yeah, 100%. You know those ones, and then do the extra pull it after. Excuse me. Hold on. Excuse me.
Hello.
Hello. You know when you do that and you go, that's got way too much give. That's got way too much give in it.
Tighter. Excuse me. No.
You have a final destination moment. You know when you see the vision, you go.
It's one of them. You got to do the double strap in, mate. So yeah, big up, guys. We'll see you on the next episode, on episode 16 next week. Peace.